Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am Grey Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. This is Grey Cloudy Day, which is the name of the channel. Thanks for being here. If you're watching, do me a favor, hit the like button. I feel like a pansy saying this a lot, but, you know, if you go back in a lot of my videos, I don't say this at all, hardly. For a large portion of the history of the channel, I just don't really say it a lot. But here lately, it's been on my brain, and if I can remember to say, hit the like button and please subscribe, you know, I try to do that. Because apparently saying this stuff will help the channel get to more people. So if you hit the like button, it helps push it out there to people that might need to see this video. If you subscribe, it also helps push it out to more people that haven't seen any of the content yet. Let's get on with it. I'm trying to make this pretty quick. It is Sunday. I'm gearing up. I'm gonna hopefully be going to church, but I wasn't gonna do a don't sweat the small stuff video, and it's all small stuff until tomorrow. But something, you know, when I went and got my Bible to bring into my room because it's cold this morning, it's supposed to warm up to 60 something, but right now it's between 20 something and 30 something degrees outside, and in the front of the trailer it's still pretty chilly. So I figured I'd make this video real quick, then I can go walk my dog, and I may make me a few eggs. Most of the time, I do not eat until 11 or 12 o'clock during the day. I'm trying my best to stick to some intermittent fasting, but I cancel it all out when I end up eating like junk food like I did the other day, and then having a whole crappy day the next day. Enough of that, Grey Cloud. Enough of that. And I'll ask anybody that is watching, if you could keep me in your prayers. I had some things on my brain yesterday that just were, I couldn't get it out of my head, and hopefully today I can, you know, let that go. It is going to be however it's going to be, and I can't worry about it. People will either show me that they are really there for me, or they won't. And, you know, life goes on. I'm not going to give up. Number 79, stop blaming others. Very good one here. When something doesn't meet our expectations, many of us operate with the assumption, when in doubt, it must be someone else's fault. You can see this assumption in action almost everywhere you look. Something is missing, so someone else must have moved it. The car isn't working right, so the mechanic must have repaired it incorrectly. Excuse me. Your expenses exceed your income, so your spouse must be spending too much money. The house is a mess, so you must be the only person doing your part. A project is late, so your colleagues at work must not have done their share, and on and on and on it goes. Yes, yes, yes. This type of blaming thinking has become extremely common in our culture. On a personal level, it has led us to believe that we are never completely responsible for our own actions, problems, or happiness. On a societal level, it has led to frivolous lawsuits and ridiculous excuses that get criminals off the hook. When we are in the habit of blaming others, we will blame others for our anger, frustration, depression, stress, and unhappiness. I'm going to interject there. I'm not blaming anybody for yesterday and the way that I felt. And I'm not going to blame anybody today for, I've been dealing with some anger this morning, just blowing up over some really dumb stuff that has nothing of any importance. So I just wanted to make that clear. That the thing that was bothering me yesterday was it was something inside of me, and I shouldn't have let it bother me, because I can't control what someone else is thinking or doing. And if they don't want nothing to do with me, then that's fine. Life goes on. I've done said that. And I won't give up. In terms of personal happiness, you cannot be peaceful while at the same time blaming others. Surely there are times when other people and or circumstances contribute to our problems, but it is we who must rise to the occasion and take responsibility for our own happiness. Circumstances don't make a person. They reveal him or her. Yeah, there's only two, if you get what I'm talking about. As an experiment, notice what happens when you stop blaming others for anything and everything in your life. This doesn't mean you don't hold people accountable for their actions, but that you hold yourself accountable for your own happiness and for your reactions to other people and the circumstances around you. Yes, yes, yes. Just like yesterday, I reacted poorly. Shouldn't have. I shouldn't have let something bother me. When the house is a mess, rather than assuming you're the only person doing your part, clean it up. When you're over budget, figure out where you can spend less money. Most important, when you're unhappy, remind yourself that only you can make yourself happy. Blaming others takes an enormous amount of mental energy. It's a drag me down mindset that creates stress and disease. Blaming makes you feel powerless over your own life because your happiness is contingent on the actions and behavior of others, which you can't control. Exactly. I can't control anybody else's actions, but I can control my actions and my reactions. When you stop blaming others, you will regain your sense of personal power. You will see yourself as a choice maker. You will know that when you are upset, you are playing a key role in the creation of your own feelings. Oh, brother, yes. This means that you can also play a key role in creating new, more positive feelings. Life is a great deal more fun and much easier to manage when you stop blaming others. Give it a try and see what happens. Well, I will say this. I don't know when or how long. I mean, if I did blame other people in my life, it was many years ago. I'm 50 Earth years old, and I've known for a long time, pretty much every situation I've ever been in, good or bad, I was in those situations based on choices I made. And it's just like when I've lived on the streets off and on over the years. Like I started at 25 for 20-something years. Even after I started drawing disability and had a definite income, there's been plenty of times I've drew a check and chose to live out on the streets. I never blamed circumstances. Never. There's always options. It's just like I'm just going to use this as an example, and I was telling somebody about this the other day, and then, I think we'll be able to wrap this video up. It's, for instance, when I used to be on the streets, especially in Morganton, North Carolina. But it happened in several places. But in Morganton, because I was there the longest, and even when I wasn't on the streets, I was still at the mission a lot. I was still hanging with a lot of the people that I knew that were still on the streets. I'd go out in the middle of the day, drink with them, party with them, whatever. Go to their camps, sometimes stay out of wherever I was renting, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you'll find a lot of people out there want to tell you that they're on the streets because of this, and this, and so and so, and so and so, and so and so, and so and so. And you try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but then you get to know them and you start understanding that it wasn't necessarily other people or circumstances. It was totally their own doing. The same with, I would hear over and over plenty of times from different people that had lived on the streets or was on the streets. Oh, I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find a job. Oh, this sucks. I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find a job. Well, when you bring up, well, hey, Burger King had a help wanted sign. Hey, the gas station up there has a help wanted sign. I see McDonald's has a help wanted sign. I heard Walmart's hiring. When they come back with some kind of answer like, yeah, but it don't pay that much. Or that's not, Well, evidently you're not really trying to find a job. Because I never had trouble. Like before I drew a check, and I did live on the streets several different times throughout my life without any kind of disability check. I learned the first time I ever experienced it was the first time I was ever homeless down in New Orleans. I was 25 years old. I was homeless on the streets. And let me get this straight. I don't really ever consider myself homeless. Wherever I lay my head, Grey Cloud lays his head, and that will be his home. So if it's under a tree, under a bridge, in a tent, whatever, the whole world is my home. Temporarily. My true home is on the other side. I came from there to come here to do something. I'm going to go back. But not until I get certain things done here. So, let me say, I really irritated and pissed off a lot of people sometimes by just telling them the truth. Well, if you really want, it's just like time and time again on the streets, I'd meet a couple, whether they were married or they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, they hated being on the streets so much. But then you tell them, well, why don't y'all go to the shelters? Well, because he's got to go to a man's shelter and she's got to go. Well, then you don't really hate being on the streets that much. You would, just because you're together, I understand you don't want to part for the night. But if you really don't like being on the streets, then one would go to the shelter they can go to and the other would go to the shelter they can go to. And then in the morning you meet up. Very simple. I've always shot straight from the hip. Will always try my best to be as as transparent as I possibly can on the channel with my life and things. Of course, there are certain details that it's just not necessary to share with anybody other than someone that I'm personally confiding in and don't want everybody to know. But most of the time, I'm wide open. And more than likely, if there's an issue that I'm having, at some point, I'm probably going to make a video about it because I made a video yesterday about what was bothering me. And it wasn't just one thing. It was several things. I had Sarah on my brain. I had the deal with a friend not responding to me and not messaging me and not talking back since Thursday. And then, of course, I think about Mom a lot, but they don't bother me too much anymore. But I think this is a good ending point, and I hope you have a good day. I'm going to work on, I got to work on calming down, not letting stuff get to me so much. And so I got to get ready. I'm going to end it here. Grey Cloud, Stage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.